Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Brent. I've been an English teacher in the United States for about 20 years, and the goal of this channel is to help you improve your English. And in today's video, I want to teach you 7 ways you can say that you're nervous in English. I also like to give you 7 phobias we have in English. First thing we should probably talk about is phobia. That comes from the Greek. We use it in English and it means something you're scared of. Most of the phobias I explain are going to be pretty big words, so if you look down for the English subtitles, they will all be 100% accurate. I've also heard from the comments section that people like shadowing, so all of the sentences I use for shadowing will be written in the description box below. The first phobia I would like to talk about is claustrophobia. Claustrophobia, and this is the fear of tight spaces. One way to say you're nervous in English is to say you are anxious. That's the adjective. Or you have anxiety. That's the noun. Think about an elevator. That's a pretty tight space. If someone is claustrophobic or they have claustrophobia, they might get a little anxious when they have to step into an elevator. Here's a sentence you can use to practice your shadowing. When I stepped onto the elevator, I became anxious. When I stepped onto the elevator, I became anxious. Right now I'm walking in a trail in the state of New Hampshire. My son has a hockey game in New Hampshire, and again I'm killing time just like I was in the last video. I'd also love to give a quick shout out to all the channel members. Thank you so much for your support. If you'd like to become a channel member, there's a link right up there. I'm filming this on my new GoPro, thanks to you guys. The next phobia or fear I want to talk about is agoraphobia. And agoraphobia is really sad. A couple years ago, I actually had a student in class whose mom had agoraphobia. And basically, if you have agoraphobia, it means you're scared of open spaces. It also means you most likely might not want to leave your house. It's almost the opposite of claustrophobia, where you're scared of small spaces. So this student's mom could never leave the house, so we teachers could never really meet with her. We could only talk with her on the phone. You can imagine getting groceries or doing any kind of shopping would be difficult for someone with agoraphobia. Another way to say you're nervous in English is my heart is pounding, or my heart pounds. So let's try this sentence for shadowing. Every time I leave my house, my heart is pounding. Every time I leave my house, my heart is pounding. Or my heart pounds every time I leave my house. My heart pounds every time I leave my house. Another very common phobia is the fear of spiders, and we call that arachnophobia. Arachnophobia. And I'm pretty sure if you are a native speaker of one of the Romance languages, it's probably very similar in your own language. I know it is in Italian. Another way to say you're nervous in English is I break into a cold sweat. I break into a cold sweat. So another sentence you could use for shadowing is every time I see a spider, I break into a cold sweat. Every time I see a spider, I break into a cold sweat. I wouldn't say I'm scared of spiders or have a phobia of them. I don't like them. And a couple years ago, I was cleaning out my garage and I stuck my hand in a box, and I think I was bitten by a spider. But I didn't know until the next day. I didn't really feel any pain, but when I woke up the next morning, my finger was swelling. And we use that term swelling when the finger gets bigger because there's probably blood and pus and other things in there. Well, I had to go to the doctor. I had to take some pills that we would call antibiotics. And luckily my finger went back down to its normal size, but the doctor thought I had been bitten by a spider. So I had to leave the trail because my son's game is about to start. But on the way from the trail to the ice arena, I got a text from Jamie saying that the game will be about 30 minutes behind schedule. And we say that when something is going to be late. And I think I found out why they are going to be 30 minutes late. It looks like somebody might have started a fire. Let's go investigate. And of course we have to do that with a mask. Safety first. We have to take our temperature. Thank you. So to enter the arena, we had to have our temperature taken just to make sure we don't have any COVID. And I'll get a little hand sanitizer here. Looks like the fire might be down the hall here a little bit. Hey, I'm just finishing up school for the day. I'm gonna drop my backpack off in my car. There are some trails at the back of the school I'd like to take you to and finish this lesson. If you are enjoying this lesson, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share it with a friend, maybe hit that like button. Somebody put some caution tape up across the path. Do I dare go any further? I'm not scared. What's the worst that could happen? The next phobia I would like to talk about is hydrophobia. Hydrophobia is the fear of water. And another way to say you're nervous in English is that you're freaked out. I actually have a friend who has hydrophobia, and every time they get near water, they get freaked out. Because when they were a little kid, their parents took them to the ocean, and they were standing on some rocks, and a big wave came and knocked them into the water. Their dad had to jump into the ocean and save them, and ever since then they have been afraid or they get nervous around water. They have hydrophobia. Every time they get near water, they get freaked out. Every time they get near water, they get freaked out. The next phobia I would like to explain is necrophobia. Necrophobia, and that is the fear of death. And another way to say you're nervous in English is my heart goes into my throat. My heart goes into my throat. You can imagine if someone has necrophobia, they probably don't like funerals all that much. So a sentence you can use for shadowing is, funerals make my heart go into my throat every time I think about one. Funerals make my heart go into my throat every time I think about one. The next phobia I'd like to talk about is glossophobia. Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. It means speaking in front of other people. Maybe you are on stage and you have to give a speech. Well, if you have glossophobia, you wouldn't like that very much. Another way to say that you're nervous in English is that you are sitting on pins and needles. Pins and needles, you know, those sharp little things that could hurt you. So you don't have to be sitting to say that it feels like I'm sitting on pins and needles every time you're nervous. I'm sure if somebody had glossophobia and they had to give a speech in front of a large crowd, it would feel like they were sitting on pins and needles. Acrophobia is the last phobia I would like to talk about, and that is the fear of heights or being up high. Probably you fear falling from that high space if you have acrophobia. And another way to say that you are nervous in English is that it feels like there are butterflies in your stomach. So you can imagine bridges might give someone butterflies in their stomach if they have acrophobia. Some amusement park rides might give people butterflies in their stomach if they have acrophobia. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, saw some nature that New Hampshire and Maine has to offer. Hope you learned a little something. Thanks for tuning in. If you're looking for more English videos, I'll put one right up there and then one below there and maybe one over there. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.